Donald Trump's authoritarian police state is here in the United States today. It's no longer a hypothetical. It's no longer a if this nope. It is here, and we are watching it unfold in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles, by the way, is just the beginning. This is the test case for this administration. And right now, they got a lot of things going their way. And that's the worst part of all of it. But let's back up. Everybody needs to remember that what is happening in Los Angeles right now is because ICE, the DEA, and several other federal law enforcement agencies decided to carry out massive migrant raids at companies. You know, places where these undocumented people were working and contributing to the United States. So they show up at their place of work, whether it's, the migrant laborers, day laborers outside Home Depot. They did hit 2 Home Depots on Friday. They hit a retail wholesaler that had hired a bunch of undocumented people. But we're taking workers, right? These aren't the mooches. These aren't the criminals. They're people that are literally just here to work. And we need them. Our economy depends on them. And the administration said, F it, we're going to go get them. That, of course, led to protests. And during those initial protests, some of the protesters threw eggs at the agents. For the most part, it was totally peaceful. Nevertheless, that didn't sit well with Donald Trump. So on Saturday, of course, we get 2,000 National Guards showing up there. They were met with empty streets, nobody there, right? There were no riots. There were no massive protests. None of that happened till after the National Guard was sent in. That was the point that people got pissed. And then that's when violence did happen. Violence coming, by the way, from both sides. Now, granted, the violence coming from the protesters was mostly just against the vehicles that these agents were in. Vehicles that are covered under car insurance, so any damage caused to them will be replaced. You may have to pay your $500 deductible, but nobody died. Nobody was getting hurt. Just some dents in a car. That's technically not even your personal car, so it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, protesters were being shot in the head with rubber bullets, including a reporter who just happened to be nearby, being sprayed indiscriminately with pepper spray, tear gas, all the usual things. Police were in riot gear. Just the worst things that everybody predicted would happen if Donald Trump became president, becoming a reality over the weekend and into this week. Now, here's the issue. And I talked about this, on my other channel as well, but I want to reiterate it here because I want everybody to understand what's going to happen from this point forward. Those images of the people throwing those bricks and, broken pieces of concrete onto those cop cars, that's all over the media already. Those will be the images. So no longer are we talking about why these people are protesting. No longer are we talking about the police state that Donald Trump has created. It's going to be images of people damaging cars because they did set fire to some self-driving vehicles in Los Angeles as well. So damage to cars that, again, are completely insured. That's now the story. That's now what the media runs with. And those clips will be shown on local media for the people watching their local news at 5 and 6 o'clock. They're going to be terrified of what's happening and they're going to support what Trump is doing. That's a problem. I have said repeatedly over the years that the second a protest turns violent, it no longer becomes about the protest itself. It becomes about the few individuals that became violent or that caused property destruction. It shouldn't be about that, but that is what the media does. And we have a media in this country right now that is more than willing, obviously, to bow down to Donald Trump. We saw it when Terry Moran was suspended from ABC for tweeting out about Stephen Miller this past weekend. The media will do whatever Trump wants them to do. And if he wants them to show footage, on repeat of people throwing cinder blocks off of bridges, That's what they're going to show. That'll be the narrative that gets sold to the public, and that'll give Trump all the clearance he needs to make every city in this country into LA. We're in the middle of Donald Trump's police state takeover. Let me read you this. This is from Robert Reich, former labor secretary under Bill Clinton. Here's what Reich had to say. Trump and his regime are rapidly creating such an infrastructure in the United States for authoritarianism in 5 steps. Number 1, declaring an emergency on the basis of a so-called rebellion, insurrection, or invasion. They've done that. Number 2, using that emergency to justify bringing in federal agents with a monopoly on the use of force, ICE, FBI, DEA, National Guard, against civilians inside the country, which they've done. Allowing those militarized agents to make dragnet abductions and warrantless arrests and detain people without due process, which they've done. Number 4, creating additional prison space and detention camps for those detained, which they've done. And number 5, eventually as the situation escalates, declaring martial law, which thankfully we have not hit that point yet, but it's a real possibility. If Trump does follow through with his threats to arrest Gavin Newsom, to arrest LA Mayor Karen Bass, to send in the Marines, Trump is the one who has escalated this. Make no mistake about it. The protesters, even the ones doing the things that we don't want them to do, they didn't escalate this. Trump did. So I don't want you to think for a second that I'm taking the side of the administration or that I'm saying people shouldn't be out on the streets. They absolutely should be. But what I'm saying is that there is a good way to do it and a not good way to do it. And a very few, small amount of them are doing it the not good way. But those are the people that the media is going to hyper-focus on. They're going to sell this narrative of violent rioters, not even protesters. And these people will end up supporting whatever Trump decides to do. Because they will think that LA is completely lawless. They will think the city has been lost. Because that's the narrative the media will sell to them with those few images they have. And that's all Trump needs. Because if he is able to do this, Newsom has, of course, sued. And if that lawsuit goes the wrong way, and the courts say, yeah, Trump can do that, then you better batten down the hatches, folks, because the National Guard will be coming to your city next. This is not hyperbole. This is not fear-mongering at this point. It is happening. We are in Donald Trump's police state. This is authoritarianism in action. This is what Trump has been waiting for. It's been what he's been wanting to do. It's what a lot of people warned us about in the 2024 campaign, and those people were dismissed as fearmongers. Oh, quit your bitching. It's not going to be that bad. He's not going to do these things. We're not even 6 months in, and he's doing these things. This is real. This is happening in America. And because of our cowardly media, they will go out there and sell Donald Trump's authoritarianism takeover. And you will, I swear, you watch it. You will have a good number of Americans, if not a full-on majority, that end up supporting this because of the way the media is going to frame it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.